Supply chain management.
Generally, supply chain management is a process of transforming input into output through production process, which involves a relationship with supplier goals to fulfill customers' demand. The fundamental objective is to add value. By adding value at each step in service-oriented value and manufacturing supply chains, it aims to create the value that match preference of customer as well as other stakeholders. There are 7 principles of supply chain management as articulated by Anderson Consulting. The first principle is segment customer based on service needs. Firms usually group their customer by industry, trade channels, or product. Therefore, effective supply chain management should be able to provide needs to the segmented group and fulfilling their needs to create customer satisfaction. Second principle, customize the supply chain management network. Firm needs to focus in identifying service required and profitability in designing their supply chain management network from identified customer segment. Third, listen to signals of market demand and plan accordingly. Sales and operation planning is crucial in order to have a knowledge in changes in demands to meet market needs. This is to give firms to be more effective in allocating their resources and forecasting budget. Next, differentiate product closer to the customers. Firms usually produce products that close to actual customers' demands. Therefore, they will delay product differentiations to avoid productions that are not required by the demand. The fifth principle is strategically manage the sources of supply. Anderson advises that the firm should go for many suppliers to determine for the lowest cost of resources required. Hence, supply chain management leaders should work closely with key suppliers to reduce overall cost of material and services. Another principle is to develop a supply chain-wide technology strategy. Information technology is used to support every level in decision-making, so that the firm is able to produce product more efficient by using the latest technology, which will improve the flows of products, services, and information. The last principle is to adopt channel spanning performance measure. Firms will focus on every activity that link in the supply chains to enhance firm financial metrics and services, such as account through profitability.
Basic supply chain involves 3 main entities, which are the producer, supplier, and customer. There are 4 basic flows in connecting all 3 entities. The first flow involves in the movement of physical materials and services from suppliers to the end customer. It includes materials, components, supplies, services, and finished goods. The second flow is the movement of cash flow from the customers to the raw material suppliers. This flow includes payment of products and supplies. Meanwhile, for the third flow, it involves in a flow of information back and forth along the chain. Examples are invoices and receipts. And the last flow is the reverse flow of product return, which includes returns for repair, replacement, recycling, and disposal.
There are 3 main strategies in supply chain management. The strategies are stable strategy, reactive strategy, and efficient reactive strategy. Stable supply chain strategy is appropriate when the chain is mainly focused on the execution, efficiencies, and cost performance. This strategy uses simple connectivity technologies and need minimum real-time information. For example, table salt manufacturers use scale production and dedicated capital assets. The use of reactive supply chain strategy, on the other hand, is more suitable in acting to fulfill demands from trade partners. For example, the manufacturer of sports team apparel for fans. When a team makes it to the next round, more products are needed. However, for the losing team, the demand will be low. The last strategy, the efficient reactive strategy, focuses more on efficiency and the cost management on the total delivered cost to finished goods. For example, in retail or supermarket chains, distribution center, logistic providers, and manufacturers will cooperate to replace the goods sold in the shop within 24 hours. There are 4 benefits of supply chain management. First, profitable growth. Second, help to reduce working capital. Third, minimize delays in tasks. And lastly, enhance collaboration within the organizational task. The first benefit of supply chain management is profitable growth. According to Ethicary's research, inefficiencies in supply chain can waste up to 25% of the company's operating costs. Supply chain management can decrease the use of large fixed assets such as plants, warehouses, and transportation vehicles. Second benefit is it can help reduce the working capital in a variety of ways. For example, improve inventory management, managing receivables and payables, minimizing days of supply in inventory, and accelerating the cash-to-cash cycle all are affected by supply chain execution. Third, it can minimize delays in tasks. Delays in supply chain leads to the poor relationship with stakeholders and even business loss. All common issues such as late shipments from vendors, delays in production lines, and logical errors in distribution channels will affect the satisfaction of the customer. Lastly, it can enhance collaboration within the organizational task. It gives you the ability to track what your suppliers and distributors are doing at all times and vice versa. It linked up all the business software systems at remote locations that dramatically improve collaboration among supply chain partners.
There are three primary challenges in implementing the supply chain management. Firstly is to reduce their supply chain costs. This is because in order to satisfy customer price expectation, the company needs to relocate their manufacturing to low-cost countries around the world that can reduce direct and indirect costs and also to minimize taxes. Second is customer preference. The customer often pressure company to come out with a new product. Innovation is one of the most important things in company to stay competitive in the market. To improve their product, company has to redesign their supply network and meet market demand in way to satisfy the customer need. Third challenge is market growth. In order to increase revenue and market share, the company needs to expand their distribution to emerging markets. Companies are expected to expand their business in the foreign market. There are two types of supply chain management. First is vertical integration. It refers to the act of bringing the production network into one organization. The majority of the planning, design, execution, monitoring, and control is placed with one organization. Second is horizontal integration. It is an extending of business by obtaining a cooperative organization in a similar industry. It is complexity in vertical integration, where the organization produces diverse teams, which identify with one item.
Supply chain management has 4 stages. The first stage is multiple dysfunctions, where the potential nucleus organization needs insight definition and objectives. The organizations tend to act impulsively instead of as per an arrangement. Forecasting is for the mostly guesswork and regularly over by baseless market positive thinking. The second stage is semi-functional enterprise, where the nucleus organization starts to enhance effectiveness, proficiency, and quality inside utilitarian ranges. The efficiencies include some significant downfalls, however, since they have not been accomplished through cross-correspondence. For instance, less the inventories could bring about deficiencies and lower cost coordination may take longer or be inconsistent. Next stage is integrated enterprise, and here the organization are completely coordinated between offices utilizing enterprise resource planning, ERP. This is a prelude to an end-to-end supply chain management. Concentrating on interdepartmental procedures does not rely upon innovation. Even though smartly utilizing innovation, it also can act as a force multiplier. The last stage is extended enterprise stage. The firm integrates its internal network with the internal networks of supply chain partners in order to improve efficiencies, product or service quality, or both.
Apple is one of the companies using supply chain management. Apple's supply chain management is even ranked as number 1 by the Gartner from the year 2010 until 2013. Despite the fact that Apple's supply chain has faced tremendous challenges, yet they still continue to strive being a global leader in supply chain management.
Customer profitability analysis is the analysis of the revenue stream and service costs associated with the specific customer or customer group. Means it will help business to determine which customer bringing more profit to the business.
Next is the discussion of 6 steps for process of customer profitability analysis. First step is the choice of customer. The basic approaches of the choice of the customer is demographic segmentation, including geographic area, customer age, sex, and income level. Next basic is psychological, where it is about customer needs and behavior, for instance, value, attitude, and interest. Next step is attributable of revenue to each segment. The revenue will be calculated per segment after the segment have been identified, depending on the product and service offered by the company. In determining the true amount of revenue generated by each customer and aggregated amount for the customer segment, any adjustment to the price paid by the customer such as discount and service fee should be included. The third step is the determination of cost attribute to each segment by using activity-based costing method. This will help in terms of allocating resource, eliminate costs, control costs, as well as managing price. Fourth step is analyzing the type of customer. Different customer will bring different revenue. This is where company will evaluate between profitable customer and unprofitable customer segment. Next step is develop strategy and program process. A profitable customer segment involved in thorough planning in establishing a long-term customer relationship for the purpose of increasing profit, which is through the customer retention and loyalty program. To assist the least profitable or unprofitable customer groups, 2 actions are taken, which are termination and re-engineering. For termination, this is the situation where the company will stop supplying to unprofitable customer by changing product or service and stop marketing to them. For re-engineering, the company make unprofitable customer to become profitable by adding more revenue or cut cost attribute to them. Last step is review the effect of new strategies. To determine the effect on consumer profitability, then the changes in pricing, cost reduction, and customer service must be reviewed.
Okay, proceed to the benefit in implementing customer profitability analysis, which a company can focus on their acquisition spend, can target on their retention activity, rework in their discounting policy, and overcome any weaknesses in their term of business. First benefit is, since company already know their most profitable customer, they can create marketing strategy that give most benefit to them, where non-profitable customer can be rid of in order to get new profitable customer. For the second benefit, it is to make sure profitable customer happy with the company's product or services, where company should not waste their time on the unprofitable customer. For example, company can give free item to their profitable customer. Next, they can rework on their discounting policy by categorize their customer to benefit and non-benefit. Then, they can revise their discount policy, so they are able to reduce their costs. Lastly, the company can overcome weaknesses because company is already knowledgeable about their customer. Thus, they will use that knowledge to improve their business. For example, making bundle sales to minimize their shipping charge.
There are numerous challenges in implementing customer profitability analysis, which are no resource of data, overlook the combinations of product and services, annual profitability may not represent lifetime value, and difficulties in computing cost to each segment.
For the first point, there may no resource or data for information technology, employee, and equipment that will be used in the analysis to make an exact estimation of customer segmental cost and revenue. Secondly, this analysis may overlook the combination of products and services purchased by customer because profits are calculated based from that, and this analysis also depends on the mixtures of products and services both. Thirdly, the annual value may not represent lifetime value because some expenses may not consider in calculating lifetime value. For example, cost of attracting and keeping customers should be compared with lifetime earning rather than annual earnings. Lastly, computing the cost attribute to each segment will be difficult because it is customer-based analysis, not product-based analysis. For example, overhead costs are usually assigned based on the production of each type of products.
One of the business that can relate to this technique is insurance company because they are using this technique to identify the profitable and non-profitable customer. They will collect customer data from original policies stored in database to perform complex cross-correlation between non-cost driver, demographic, and other characteristics of policyholder. This analysis makes company aware that retired customers are non-profitable to them. Therefore, they can focus on profitable customers that can give high profit at the same time reducing their cost.